everything. Good.
Alright guys, I am working on baking. I'm going to make Aunt Val's oatmeal bars. And I have never done this before. I got this recipe from my buddy Luke, actually. There's a lot of ingredients. There's oatmeal. I had a bunch of old Quaker apple cinnamon oatmeal packages that I wanted to use up. And I'm like, dude, like, what am I going to do with all this? 3 cups of oatmeal. Flour, sugar, baking soda, white sugar, brown sugar, chocolate chips, vanilla, eggs, and margarine or butter. This margarine was expired, so I'm like, what better time than to use it up now? So I'm kind of trying to go through the whole house, pantry, everything, fridge, and use up all of the old stuff that I have, and ultimately replace it with new. So I figured maybe it's better than just throwing it out, tossing it out, and wasting it. At least that's my thought. So, yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I tried to lay down and take a nap. And this little one, Sophie, it wasn't having it. So, yeah. Alright. I am and have been making a little bit of progress on my project list. Not a ton, but getting there. I had bought some meat last week that I needed to repackage, so I'm breaking any sort of meat that I buy. I've been breaking it up into like packages of 2 instead of, packages of 5. So a lot of sugar in here. Holy cow, dude. Looks like I'm going to need to buy some more sugar soon here. Alright. We will call that 1 cup. Alright, so we did white sugar, brown sugar. Let's mix this in here. I'm not looking to like cook this. I was just mainly wanting to melt down that margarine. 2 sticks of margarine is quite a bit. Okay, so, and then we just have our 2 eggs. The margarine is still solid. Alright. There's 1. There's 2. I don't know if I'm supposed to do this in a pot or not. I can't think of a better way to mix up 2 sticks of cold margarine than to melt them down. So, break these eggs up. So, I am done with the COVID mask documentation. Turned out pretty nice. I took some nicer quality pictures, photos to add into them, or add into the document, I should say. At some point tonight, I'm gonna file down and assemble 5 more masks. I'm gonna send Nikki 3, 1 for her, 1 for her mom, 1 for her dad. I'm gonna send Luke 2. That will make a total of, I want to say, 12 masks made up, and that's given away. I've made some for Grant and I as well. So. I'm actually taking a break from mask making. I'm so burned out from it. I'm like done. I gotta figure out where my finances are and all that sort of stuff. Okay, I could almost shut the heat off on this. So, yeah, I'm working on paying bills and stuff like that. Okay, dissolve 1 tablespoon or teaspoon of soda in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. Baking soda, that is. Okay. Here's the vanilla extract. Whoa. That pours out like wawa. Like water. Okay. I think I got... Okay, add 1.5 cup of flour. So here's the flour. And then I think what I'll do is I'll transfer it all to a mixing bowl. And when I do the oatmeal, because I don't think this pot's going to be large enough to host all of this stuff. Sophie's probably peeing on the floor in the background, so that's cool. Alright, a little bit more. Okay, 1.5 cups of flour. There that is. I already pre-measured out 3 cups of oatmeal. It was almost like a whole box of those packets. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna take a while to mix all of this stuff in here. Fold it in, I guess. I'm not sure. I don't know if leaving some heat on is a good idea. Maybe we should shut that off. So, just trying to get my finances in order. So for this stimulus money that arrived, it didn't necessarily arrive today, but it hit my account today. It's listed as pending, but Chase basically gives you your money if it's pending. Chase Bank, that is. I transferred that $1,700 into savings, and it's looking pretty good. Let me. So then I just need to mix this with the 3 cups of that. So, let me see what this recipe says here real quick. Okay, add a half a teaspoon of salt, which is not a lot. Add that in there. I did not add that before. I'm also, I mentioned it before, but I'm day trading not day trading, but I'm trading stocks. I had taken earlier this year a $10,000 loan out, and for my 401k. So I'm working, I'm paying that off over the course of a year. Well, that $10,000 loan was to get me by until my tax return came. I got a few grand back or so from my tax return, but I was kind of thinking about adding that or paying that back towards my 401k loan as soon as I got it, the $3,000, and that would pay down my 401k loan quicker, you know. But I, started thinking about it more and more, and I was like, well, I'm already going to get this loan paid off in a year. What if I have an emergency and I need some money? Like, I'm going to be tapped out, essentially. And I'm like, I feel like maybe I should hold on to that $3,000. It's worth more to me, in my possession than paying back a loan earlier. I don't need to pay it back that quick or whatever. So that was my thought. And then, of course, I'm like, well, if I got $3,000 of extra money, instead of parking it in savings with zero interest or return on it, why don't I try to invest it? So that's what I've been working on. I've been trading like a small, oh, that smells good. I've been trading a small bank stock that has quite a bit of volatility, you know, plus or minus 10%, which is good. And I've been trading that, and last week I made just under $300 trading it. I'm like, okay, well, this is good. So I was thinking about it, and I mentioned it yesterday, but I discovered yesterday that my NAS, my network attached storage, my bank of hard drives that I use to store all my stuff, I figured out yesterday that it's literally maxed out. It has 20 terabytes or over 20 terabytes of usable space, and wow, this is warm and smells good. The 20 terabyte usable space is down to like 400 gig available space. So that's how much it's how little is available of it. It's at 99%, let me put it that way, of used space. So I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, I have an 8-bay NAS, and 6 of them are currently populated, but like 2 of the bays that are populated are something like 3 terabyte drives. And you know, you guys know, but recently I've been populating it with 10 terabyte Iron Wolf drives. So these babies are like 300 or more bucks a piece, but they're 10 terabytes. So I was like, can I just like upgrade the size of those first couple ones? And, you know, one to add more capacity, and you know, to make them bigger. But 2, those drives they've been in that NAS since day 1 of me having the NAS. So they've had to have been in service 24/7 for shit, what, like 2 or 3 years? So that concerns me, you know. And so I was like, you know, looking into it. Well, because of the type of special type of RAID array that I'm running, it's proprietary to Synology. Synology is the brand of the NAS. They said that the only way I can upgrade those particular drives is to replace them with drives that are the same capacity size-wise as the largest drive that's in the array. I'm like, well, fuck. So that forces me to have to buy 10 terabyte drives to upgrade the size of those. I'm like, well, okay. Which, you know, it is what it is, right? So I started, you know, basically I realized, like, all right, I have to buy one of these $300 or $270 drives or whatever they are. They're cheaper now than they were last time I bought one. I'm like, all right, I resolved in terms of I had the realization that I needed to buy these drives regardless. So then I started thinking, this was yesterday, I'm like, well, shit, man. Like, last week I made money trading. So I looked at it, and the money I made last week was literally like exact same amount as one of those drives that I need. And I'm like, well, shit. So all right. So I transferred from my investment stock trading account that money to buy this hard drive, and then I ordered it through Amazon, and I think it'll be here, I don't know, Monday or something like that. And, you know, for those of you that don't know, when you initialize a new hard drive like that into something, it takes days to initialize a 10 terabyte drive into a RAID array or a NAS array or whatever kind of array you're doing. So, yes, I have 400 gigs available space now, but it might take me a week, or it might take me 2 weeks to initialize that drive. So I'm like, I need to get it now before I get any closer to filling up, completely maxing out this NAS. So that's where I was. So I'm like, so yeah, so I basically, the money I made trading stocks on my own will, or bought me a $300 hard drive. You know, buying $300 hard drives is about the most boring adult purchase that I hate having to spend money on, but I use all the time. You know, my Plex media server, all of my media is stored on the NAS. All my business photography photo backups, all my photo files, you know, everything. My personal computers back up their file systems to the NAS. You know, all sorts of stuff. So I use the shit out of this thing. It's just very expensive to post and have all this on my own, you know, versus using like a cloud-based service or something like that. So over the last couple days, the market's been kind of slowly dipping a little bit. So I started buying back into this bank stock. So I'm down like $100, $120. But as soon as it comes back, it should recoup that and more. So I'm looking at it as, you know, I was still left with around $3,000 after I took that withdrawal to pay for the hard drive. So that's going to be my goal, is to try to get like $200-$300 pops and pull out that money and buy hard drives. So, kind of sounds lame, but I don't want to say it's free money, but this is money that I'm working on, kind of having or whatever, or you know, this is extra money that I'm putting towards a good use. So now I need to find a baking pan to press this into. I don't know what the fuck. What is a baking pan? I don't even know. What's a baking pan? Is it maybe one of these things? Yeah, I don't really know. Okay. I also want to make some banana bread too. I might do that. So we'll see. I guess I need to preheat this. This will be baking for 30 minutes. Bake 30 minutes at 350. Okay. So, yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to. It's something to do, something to keep me busy while I'm at home. I'm still trading, you know, in and out when I can, my 401k stock. And I'm like, dude, if I'm already following the market, why don't I just add one more stock ticker to monitor that I can just trade with my personal money. So that's what I'm doing. You know, it's like I said, this is fun money. This isn't the end of the world. If I lose it, obviously I'm not going to lose it all. And if I have to, like let's say the market crashes, I will stay bought in to this bank, and they have really good dividend returns. So if anything, it'll just be more of like a long-term investment until it comes back or recovers. So, but I mean, this particular stock that I'm talking about, it's been upwards of $15 a share, and now it's under $7 a share. So that kind of shows you the you know, over a long term, what kind of growth we can maybe see out of that. So I was gonna see if I could make it to the UPS store to drop off the masks for these guys, but I don't know. Instead, I tried to take a nap, and that actually didn't work out either. So, oh well. pre-greased pan. They said something about press this into it. There is some baking soda in here with flour, so I don't know if this is gonna rise. I don't know if I might need to do this into 2 of these pans. I'm not exactly sure on this one. Yeah, we're gonna see them on that. I don't know. It just says to press it into a pre-greased pan. It doesn't say like how big. I guess these are oatmeal bars, so if you're going to eat like a bar, it's not going to be a foot thick, you know. This is a Strothman family secret recipe, brah. I'm excited. And I'm just happy to use up some old shit that I had laying around the pantry, and that's what it comes down to. I feel like I should split this into 2. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I do have another one of these. I don't want to make them too big or chunky or whatever. We'll just do it into 2 separate pans. Went grocery shopping last night. I don't know. I know I did a vlog entry yesterday, but I don't know how much it contained. You know, grocery shopping is just so surreal now. Everyone's wearing masks and bandanas and shit over their face, and it's just looks like the Wild West, man. It really does. Like dots all over the floor that says "Please stay back." You know, or on these dots, don't get too close and stuff like that. It's nuts. So I don't know how. Supposedly the president tomorrow. Today's what, Wednesday? Tomorrow's Thursday. Supposedly the president's going to announce tomorrow a strategy to reopen the country. The plan to reopen the country being like, you know, how are we going to go about to some sense of normalcy? And I'm really curious to see the plan for all of that and what they got in mind, because no one knows what the hell's going on. No one knows or understands how important this is. Everyone keeps comparing it to everything in the past. Like, well, this one killed more people. It's like, well, did you want to have that many people die again? Or do you want to do better this time around? Because, like, what... You know, how do you argue with that type of logic or reasoning? They're like, well, in the past we didn't do any of this stuff, so why are we doing it now? It's like, fuck you, guy. It's so weird. Like, the types of arguments on the internet where people just have no understanding of just anything. Everyone can do it better, of course, than the president or the governors or whatever. And all it is just a bunch of fucking people sitting on their couches just bitching at each other. It's so weird. You know, I'm in IT. I've been a gamer almost my whole life. I should say since, like, the internet, you know, was invented, or not invented, but came mainstream, I've been online. So, like, I understand trolling and, you know, keyboard cowboy jockeys and all that stuff. Like, you know, people that are armchair quarterback, so to speak, that, you know, sit at home and talk shit. You know, I get that. You know, like I said, I've been on the internet forever. Like, that's an internet thing. But, like, when the common people, i.e. my Facebook friends that are waitresses and teachers and all that stuff, are flooded with way more free time, similar to how us gamers live our lives. You're seeing them exhibit the same behavior as like the gamer people. So a lot of negative posts, people shit talking and all that, and then you guys know when you're on the internet and start shit talking, you bear the whole weight of the internet against you or for you, but typically against you. It's pretty interesting. And these people are like, oh shit, I didn't want to start a fight. It's like, dude, this is the internet. Welcome. All right. I think I'm pretty much set to throw those in there once that's heated or preheated or whatnot. This stuff is like concrete. Holy shit. Wonder what that does to the insides of you. I guess this is fiber, right? You guys want to see what life is like in quarantine? It's this. It's cooking every day, all day, and cleaning. And when you're by yourself, you got to do both steps. And sure, yeah, it's easy, whatever, but I'm exhausted from doing it. This is all I do. Cook and clean. And that's just the kitchen part, you still got the house and everything else. I've come to realization that I'm going to stockpile certain key foods and not everything. So carbs, stuff to make bread if I need to, a few things that Grant will or would eat, and the rest I'm gonna either have frozen meat and stuff like that, because I can't afford to keep flipping the fuck out. Now's the time to be saving shitloads of money. So I'm saving money on cleaning lady costs, meaning cleaning lady isn't coming, so that's $80 or $160 every month. I'm saving money on daycare costs. That's somewhere around in the neighborhood of $300 a month for me. I'm saving on gas, and where I'm not saving is food. So eating or cooking every meal and eating at home is not cheaper than eating out. This is the sad truth. This is, maybe it's a United States thing, I don't know, but the joke is it's cheaper to eat healthy, it's cheaper to eat, unhealthy foods, like, fast foods, than it is to eat healthy. Organic foods, fruit, veggies, all that stuff costs a lot of money. So it's one of those things where now that I'm home, now I'm cooking and all that, it does cost more. As weird as that may seem. I know it was weird for me. But anyway, I want to, instead of just blowing money on shit that I probably don't need, I want to work on nailing down the items that I'm saving money on that I would literally normally be spending money on. So, like I said, daycare, gas, cleaning, stuff like that. And I want to isolate that money and put it into special savings accounts or whatever it may be. So, the stimulus went into my main savings account. The cleaning lady funds might go into my Christmas fund. I want to try to have in excess of $500 each year in a Christmas fund. So I don't have to worry about Christmas presents or paying for them or buying them or whatever. And then I want to have a gun fund, which will be the fees and stuff for renewing the gun club. That's usually, $500 or more or whatever. And then, other types of things. I still want to get that Cybertruck. How many it comes out? But, there's still $40,000. So if I can save, I don't know, a few grand or a couple grand a year, I'll have a nice down payment. Let's put it that way. This dog, driving me crazy. I ordered this stuff from a website. It was actually an Adams Polish's website. And they're like, oh, hey, everybody, did you know we're making disinfectant spray? And I'm like, oh, cool. I finally get it, and it doesn't have their name on it anywhere. It says, formulated in accordance with World Health Organization, manufactured and bottled in an FDA-registered facility in the USA. Other than that, it's all generic. 75% isopropyl alcohol, which I could make myself, but I don't fucking have. You can't get that anywhere. Even the nozzles that they sent, I bought 2 bottles. The nozzle was too long, or the pickup tube is too long for the bottle. So that tells me that this is all bullshit. I won't even say how much I spent on those 2 bottles, but I could not find cleaning stuff anywhere. And I was starting to get a little worried until I found like jugs of it at the house that I didn't know existed. So if I would have known they existed, I probably wouldn't have freaked out and panic bought fucking isopropyl alcohol spray bottles. But I'm going to use those spray bottles to disinfect the groceries. So I can spray it on, wipe it off, whatever. So. Hey guys, what is happening? It's Wednesday afternoon, April 15th, payday 2020, and today's a good day. The COVID-19 stimulus checks are hitting everyone's accounts this week. I got mine listed as pending as of today. Pretty incredible stuff. So, I'm a little excited about that, and extra money is always a good thing. They're calling it a tax refund credit, so most likely that's money that we would have been due next tax season. What I'm working on here today now is a bunch of shots or photos of the masks for a document that I'm writing up. So this document is to essentially, it's a directions like on how to use the masks and stuff like that is what I'm trying to say or get at. So I'm going to send masks to Nikki's family, probably send 1 or 2 to Luke, and I don't know what else, but I am going to include some documentation on them to teach people how to use the masks or set them up or change them if they want, and all that good stuff. So I was just assembling Grant's new mask. This is the Mark II. This mask is his replacement for the first one that I printed, as well as for this is the Mark II, so that means it's got the nicer mounting points on the edges, on the outside edges of the masks. And this is the female and children model. This is the SB101 model, and not too shabby, so pretty excited about that. But I'm going to get these images loaded into the document that I created, and then I can package up the rest of these. So it's one of my projects that I want to get completed, and today I actually have a bunch of free time, so I figured why not work on this now and get this knocked off the list. I'm going to ship these out. I'm going to ship these to Luke and Nikki. So, yeah.